Yes, everyone, what's going on? Manchester United have just beaten Melbourne Victory 4-1. And it didn't start great, did it? For like 25, 30 minutes, just sitting there like this. What's going on? Why do we look so fucking bad? But we warmed into the game. We looked better in the second half, arguably with a refreshed 11, it would be fair to say, than we did in the first half. In the first half, certainly the first half an hour or so, I thought Melbourne played a really, really disciplined shape. It was like a 5-3-2 kind of formation, and they just sat back and soaked up all the pressure that United were putting. On that, though, it wasn't just that they was compact and made it difficult for United. United were actually poor. We were playing balls behind each other. There was a little bit flat-footedness about us. Didn't really see us trying up the tempo at all in that sort of first half hour, and I thought it was pretty disappointing. I tweeted earlier, if anyone actually caught that, Maguire playing on the halfway line in a system like this, when you lose the ball, not good. He got absolutely rinsed, didn't he? Got absolutely tore to pieces. And then obviously the game started to open up a little bit towards half time, and then in the second half it was a lot more open, and they didn't cause us anywhere near as much problems. Was that down to the personnel that was playing? Probably be a little bit on the unfair side to say that it was entirely down to the personnel we were playing, but I thought it was one of those. But yeah, I thought in the second half at least, I think there was a lot of positives to take from it. In the first half, what would we say in the first half? I think Sancho probably a bright spark, one of the major bright sparks. I would say the right-hand side with Delo actually was looking quite like it had a little bit of quality. I'd say Sancho, Bruno, Delo, that little sort of triangle, they was creating some stuff between them there on that side. Needs replicating on the left-hand side. Again, wasn't impressed with what I saw from Luke Shaw. Thought it was pretty ordinary. Again, getting caught napping a little bit. In fact, the entire defence, Lindelof as well, was also caught a little bit napping at times. It just seemed like that collection of players, it seemed like they were more, the ball was going behind people. Like I said, a real flat-footedness, a lack of bravery. Just a little bit... Yeah, Bruno and Sancho did look good, did look bright, did look like they were likely to create something. But otherwise, Alanga, I didn't think he had a great game either. It's one of those. Then in the second half, I think it's worth mentioning again, I thought Zidane had another good game, but I think today, possibly, I mean, what do you guys think? Who was your man of the match? Who was your man of the match? I think it's worth talking about Charlie Savage's performance. I mean, he's literally got the physique of a child, but he's playing with a maturity that belies that physique that he's got at the moment. Intelligent, scanning constantly, always alert to sniff out that danger. He's a better technical footballer, I think, than his dad ever was. I actually think he's going to surprise people. He surprised me already. I think he's really going to surprise people this season, and I think Ten Hag is probably building trust in what he's seeing in front of him. The performances don't lie, and I think it's worth mentioning Donny van der Beek. I thought he was the worst of the midfielders on the pitch today. Absolutely bypassed him. The Donny FC is going to have to do some real thinking about what they're going to come up with to excuse him this time. He's playing with the manager that's knows him, has got faith in him, has trusted him in the past. Yet he's, for me, performance-wise, behind two academy prospects who haven't started a full league game for United in their entire lives. So I think there's a lot to be positive about for Charlie and for Zidane. Probably a little bit to worry about there, I think, for Donny. Ahmad looked brighter, I thought, today. Looked a little bit more confident than he did against Liverpool. I thought he was quite poor against Liverpool. Didn't really have anything going on. Marcus started quite poor. I think he finished a little bit stronger. Definitely finished stronger, not just a little bit. I think that's unfair. But Ahmad looked a little bit brighter. Chong, I'm not sold on. I don't think he'll be part of the squad going forward. I do think Laird looked good. I know he's got more in the locker, and it was a little bit frustrating watching him at times because didn't really see him take anybody on, which is a massive part of his game. He offered good options, wasn't really troubled defensively, but really want to see him deliver what we know is inside him, because that's what Ethan Laird's game is all about. Let's see what some of you guys are saying in the comments. Danny Alexander says, Malacia not great. I thought it was a quiet performance again from Malacia. I thought it was relatively average rather than good. Loads of people talking about Savage and Zidane. I think they definitely was a couple of the standouts. Got some super chats here. Let's go through those. Zach Purvis says, Zidane's a quality baller, a real baller. Where's Hannibal? Also, what's my thoughts on Chong and Laird? Wasn't impressed with Chong, and I know Laird's got more in the locker. I don't think he played poorly, but I want to see him deliver more on what I know is in there. Josh says, really loved that, enjoyed going to not that every day. Both my clubs play each other. Excited for both teams' upcoming seasons. And I think Ross Murphy says another win. Also my birthday. Happy birthday, pal. Happy days. Come on, United. I've got a little sneak peek for you. So anyone who is a member, check your emails right now because they're already selling fast. The home shirt has just gone live officially to members. If you want to get your hands on one of those, go check your emails because all members have just been emailed, and I think we have sold somewhere in the region of 50 already in the last 10 minutes. So get on quick because there's not a lot. There's only a couple of 100 available, and we do sell them out, and we have sold them out in the past. So if you're a member, check that out. They should be going live to the public next week. Depends on how many go. If they all sell out, it might be a couple of weeks before we bring them back. Loads of people talking about Zidane here. A couple of people sort of mentioned the low block that Melbourne hit us with in the first half. Listen, the A-League, I did some research into this because someone asked me in the comments on one of the videos the other day, and they said, like, where does the A-League rank comparatively to like world football, and someone said, is it like League One kind of championship like on a level? And I didn't know, so I went and had a look, and it's almost a carbon copy. So the way that leagues are ranked, you have the best team in the league given a score, the worst team in the league given a score, and then the average of that league given a score. Off the top of my head, someone like a Manchester City, I think are about a 91, something like that, to give you a bit of a guide. I think Real Madrid were like an 85 kind of rank this year. Sheffield Wednesday, I believe, were the top ranked team in League One, and they was a 33.7. And then Melbourne City were the top ranked team in A-League, and they was a 33.7 as well. Spooky, right? And then the worst team in League One, I can't remember who it was, they was ranked 8.75, and then the worst team in the A-League was ranked a 7.5. So almost pound for pound the same. I think League One had a slightly higher average. I think the average of League One was like 21. I think the average of the A-League was about 18. So there's probably slight stronger teams in League One, but from the bracket, top to bottom, almost identical. So League One opposition, certainly nothing to get giddy about just yet, but you know, decent little run out there for United. Mahat says, where's Jimmy? It's a great question. I have no idea where Jimmy Garner is. Someone I've been absolutely desperate to see on tour, and we haven't seen him yet. A little bit annoying. Mitch says Shaw was man of the match, and Jamie Dodger says Shaw was gash. It's all about opinions, lads. Big Mitch says, I want to see Garner and Zidane in that first team, not on your own. One Skill says, I think there was a spark between Alanga and Shaw on a few occasions, but maybe Malacia will work better. Good point. Tom says, thoughts on us trying a back three when Martinez comes in? We might do, but I don't think we will. I think it's going to be a 4-2-3-1, I believe. Callum Grant says, still no Garnacho. It looks that way. It does look that way at the moment. We haven't seen him. And you know, I think Hannibal, Garnacho, Garner, these are players that I am desperate to see. on pre-season. Josh there with a super chat. He says the A-League is decent. What it lacks in skill, it makes up for in Erik Bay's style madness. How many was at the stadium today? I didn't actually hear anyone mention it, but it looked like it was pretty full. And I know that it holds a hell of a lot of people. Lee Bolton in the comments says, got my Paddock shirt. Has anyone got a sold out yet? Because there's only certain whatsits of each size. I'm just going to double check. I've got the website up here. I'm just going to check in the comments. I'm going to go into the inventory even and see how many we've got, if it'll let me. There's quite a lot on the website right now, so it's slowed down a little bit. Let's have a look. Website's going a bit slow because everyone's on it. I'll leave it so I don't balls up the YouTube stream. Issy Football says, what about Martial? I thought it was okay today. 80,000, 74,500, 75,000. Okay, looks like it was a pretty decent attendance then today, doesn't it? That's not bad. Holds 100,000, about 3/4 full. Can't really argue with that. Rob Davies says Zidane looks like some player. He kept it simple, didn't he? At times when he needed to, and then in the final third, he looked to try and go a little bit more one touch, a little bit braver, a little bit more tricks in the final third, and that's good game intelligence. Like that. ADHD says, how many games do I see Mctominay getting this season under Ten Hag? If Savage and Zidane keep playing the way they're playing, not a lot, to be honest. Ahad says, remember what Rio said about Evra and Vidic when they signed? Yeah, and it's valid. You know, there's a good chance that Malacia's... listen, I'm going to comment on his performance and I'm going to give my genuine opinion on his performance at the moment. I don't think there's a lot to write home about on his performance, but no one's writing him off. You just can't say he's amazing if he's not. And he hasn't been. He's obviously getting used to the rest of his teammates and he's getting used to the system as well. So I expect a settling in period for him, and you know he's a young lad, so we'll see. Apparently Muppeteers are saying Eriksen to be announced at 3 p.m. It's going to be a busy day then, it looks like today, doesn't it? Where's Donny, says Steve. Well, believe it or not, he did play. Hostad says, saw Axel went home. Do I think he's done at United now? If he's going home, he's either got a knock and isn't going to be fit, or there's someone coming for him and he's going to be getting a sale, I imagine. Kevin Fitz says, no positives at all. In what sense? Yeah, I've talked about plenty of positives today. Colin says, would it be wrong to start Ronaldo over Martial if Martial keeps scoring in pre-season and Ronaldo keeps trying to leave? Yeah, it probably would be, yeah. Matthew Leary says, I thought Savage was better than Zidane today. Steve Austin says, Donny looked out of sorts. Kojak says, fault the youngsters played better than most of the starting 11. Yeah, I tend to agree on that, yeah. And I don't know if that's Shoot Neutrality says, Steve, can you slate Maguire, please? He's balls. If you want me to slate him, I can slate him, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't just slate him for no reason, but I think his time's probably limited at United. Bit of a wounder that we saw. Varane's probably got some sort of a knock. That's not ideal, is it? With him having a knock, you think Maguire's going to get more game time than we all want. By the sounds of it, it looks like Martinez isn't going to be joining the tour, flying halfway around the world just to have a couple of run-outs. I think he's going to start his work at Carrington. Probably going to be the same with Christian Eriksen. Just get them to work at Carrington and see how it goes, I imagine. JPF says Sancho looked phenomenal off the right. I don't know about phenomenal, but he looked good. Jordy says, can you convince one of the Paddock crew to have a pint with me in Melbourne? Just go find them. They're around. Jose says, thoughts on Delo's performance? I think Delo's looked decent, to be honest. I don't think it's groundbreaking in any sense. I think he's just looked decent. I just missed this one. I got the name, sorry. But someone says, at what point do you pull out of the Donny van de Beek deal? Like I've been saying, and I do have a video coming out on this over the weekend, I think there's more to it than meets the eye in terms of he doesn't want to come. I think he does. And it was a little bit of a leak today that suggests United wouldn't have bothered getting this far with him if they didn't know that there was interest from him in terms of his desire to come. So I imagine I imagine that there's probably a little bit more to it than that. I'm just checking here on the members then. So there's only 10 XXX left. There's 13 of the XXLs left. There's 21 XLs. There's only 6 large left. It's not a bad little start, everybody. If you want one, you need to go and check your emails. And if you're not a member, you get little members exclusives like this. And I think next week we'll be putting out the first lot of questions to you guys that we want you to vote on as well. We're still waiting on some developments with the app. But if you're interested in getting in the mix with all of those, then just Google fan ownership Stretford Paddock and come and join as a member. But yeah, there's fucking shirts have been flying out already. What happened to James? What do you mean what happened to James? Which James? As in Dan? Where have you been? Toby Helliwell says, scanning the pitch, not fucking around on the ball, moving it forward. God, it was refreshing to see those two in midfield today. Those two children, I think you meant to say, Toby. And yeah, it was good. And they both did well. Jemmy says, I got the home shirt today. James Wood says, the midfield players in the second half, Iqbal and Savage, were more impressive than McFred. Would I loan or keep them for this season? I think you've got to wait and see what the signings makes, but you know, we'll see how it rolls. Callum says, good to see Rashford get a goal. Yeah, I don't think it was his best performance, but hopefully it's a little bit of confidence for him now, because I thought he looks sharp. Physically, he looks sharp, but I don't think he's playing with any sort of confidence just yet. So hopefully we can get some of that going on as well. IQ Insane says, don't know what people are on about. I thought we played badly today. So many back passes. First half, yeah. Second half, I think it was better. Nick says, Steve Chong looks shite tonight. Do I think he's got a future at United? No. Notch says, ready for 37 degrees next week. I'll be all right at work, Rex. Can I even... I don't know if I can actually show you this here, but check this fucker out. Hang on, let me just check what's visible here. Can you see that fucker and the exhaust for it?
Stevie's got industrial air conditioning, lads. No sweaty bollocks for me.
I can't have it on because it's very, very loud, so I have to turn it off when I do a video. But yeah, I've got some big old air conditioning. Am I ready for 37 degrees? Bring it the fuck on, is what I'll say. Might need to get one for home, though, because I'm going to fucking melt and not be able to sleep. Proper bastard, I tell you. Anyway, cheers for tuning in. If you want to go and get yourself the new Paddock home shirt and you remember, then check your emails and you will get the link. It's not available for the public for at least another week or two. And if you're not a member, then come and become a member. We've got 1,000 members. Next week, we'll be asking you to vote on the future of the club and the club's ethics and the direction that we want to take some stuff in. So make sure to come and check it out. And I'll see you fuckers in the next one. Laters.